Students, now we are going to study about new topic which is congruence of triangle. So congruence of triangle you all have already studied in standard 8 also, and congruence of triangles means both the triangles which are there, they are exactly equal to each other. So if I take an example here, this purple color triangle is triangle ABC, and there is white color triangle which has border black color. That triangle is triangle PQR. So these two triangles, triangle ABC and PQR, are congruent to each other. That means what? One to one congruence is there. That means if I put point A on point B, point B on point Q, and point C on point R, both the triangles will be exactly uh, equal. That means they will be back to back of each other, and they will cut to cut match. Cut to cut match means they will be exactly equal. So if I keep this purple color triangle on this white color triangle, let us see what will happen. You can see here I have put it, and it gets exactly hide behind purple color. White color triangle gets hide behind the purple color triangle, but they are exactly equal. So this is nothing but congruence of triangle. So if I have to write down both these triangles are congruent, then how do I write down? Triangle ABC is congruent. So this is the sign of congruent. Congruent to triangle PQR. So here, while writing down the name of both the triangles, you should be very careful. If you first write down A, while writing down the name of the other triangle, first you have to write down the point which exactly coincides with point A. So A is exactly coinciding at point P, right? Because this is one-to-one correspondence. So A matches point P. That's why first if you write your A, you are also first you have to write down P. And second point, if I write down B, I cannot write here I cannot write point R. Here I have to write down point Q because B exactly coincides point Q. And third, if I write down C, it exactly coincides point R. So this is how we write down congruence of two triangles. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Now let us learn about different tests of. Now in congruence of triangle, there are different tests. Means what? There are 6 different components of triangle. Components of triangle means triangle is made up of 3 angles and 3 sides. So out of all these 6 components of triangle, even if 3 of the components match, if 3 of the components of first triangle match the 3 of the components of other triangle, then also both the triangles are become congruent, and the remaining 3 of the components automatically become congruent to the other 3. Okay, so we are going to learn about the first test. So if you see two triangles displayed on your screen. First is triangle ABC and second is triangle PQR. So from observing the figure itself, you will come to know which test it is. So you can see here which all symbols from this one triangle matches the symbols of the second triangle. You have to see that. So you can see here angle B symbol, which is circle, matches the same symbol which is there in triangle PQR also, and that angle is angle Q. So that means angle B is equal to angle Q, and angle C you can write on the full form also. So C can be written as ACB is exactly equal to triangle PRQ, because you can see here both the angles are marked with cross sign, and between those two angles there is one side which is congruent. How do you come to know? Because this side is represented by two standing lines, and exactly two standing lines are there in this triangle also. That means side BC is congruent to side QR. Okay, so in a correspondence, if two angles of triangle, that means these two angles of triangle ABC are equal to the two angles of triangle PQR, and if a side included between those two triangles, so between these two angles there is a side included between them, so between these two angles there is a sandwich of this side, so that kind of condition should be there, then only these two triangles become congruent. And this type of property is called as angle side angle test, which is in short form written as ASA test. Okay, because angle, then comes side, which is sandwiched between them, and then again comes angle. Okay, now you have to write down all the three elements which are congruent. So first we'll write down this angle. So angle ABC is congruent to angle PQR. Now here also one-to-one correspondence you have to check. So if A comes first, A exactly coincides point P, then second comes B. B exactly coincides point Q, because you can see here B is represented by this circle and Q is also represented by this circle. And third we have written C. So if third is C, C exactly coincides point R. So third should be R. So here also you have to check that. So first angle we have written angle ABC is congruent to angle PQR. Then angle ACB, that means this cross angle is exactly congruent to angle PRQ, and last remaining side BC is congruent to side QR. And when two angles and side are common, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Whole triangles are congruent to each other, even though these three elements are only congruent. Okay, now moving forward to next test. Okay, so here I have written one possibility which can be wrong. So while writing down two angles are congruent, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. You cannot write this way, triangle ABC congruent to triangle PRQ. In anyhow you cannot write down. If A exactly coincides point P, you have to first write down P. B exactly coincides which point in this triangle? It coincides point Q. So if second is B here, here also second should be Q. If you write down R here, this will be wrong and your half marks will get cancelled. So write down in proper sequence. Here sequence is very important. So that's why you have to see one-to-one correspondence. So first if you write down angle ABC, then after writing first triangle, point by point you see if point A, where does which point does it coincide. So A coincides P, so write down first P, then check for B. B coincides Q, write down Q, and C coincides R, so write down R. Okay, test. So in this test you can see here in figure both these triangles are given. By looking at this figure only you will understand. Here side AB and side PQ both have the same symbol. Okay, one standing line and one standing line. That means both these sides are congruent. So side AB from first triangle and side PQ from second triangle are congruent. Then side BC and side QR are also congruent because both are represented by two standing lines. And there is one angle which is congruent, which is angle ABC is congruent to angle PQR. Why? Both angles are represented by same symbol, which is circle, small circle. Okay, and by looking at this, if you see between the two sides one angle is sandwiched. So which test it might be? It is side angle side test, because two sides are there and one angle is sandwiched between them. So it will be side angle side test. So in a test of correspondence, if three, here the statement is wrong. If two sides of one triangle are equal to the two sides of other triangle and an angle included between them are equal, then the two triangles are congruent. Okay, so this statement is wrong. Look in the textbook and write down. So this property is called as side angle side test. In short, we can write down SAS test. Side angle side test. So let us write down which all elements are common, which all elements are equal. So first we'll write down side AB is congruent to side PQ. Then angle ABC is congruent to angle PQR, and side BC is congruent to side QR. Therefore, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Here also, while writing down the congruence, check the one-to-one correspondence and check the sequence. Okay. Now in the next figure you can easily tell which kind of test it is. So your first AB side of this first triangle is exactly equal to side PQ from the second triangle. So here this triangle is given upside down to just confuse you, so that instead of PQ you write down QP. That also it will be wrong. So you can see here A exactly coincides point P. So if A comes first, P also should come first. You should not write Q first. Okay, so AB, segment AB is congruent to segment PQ. Now see where two standing lines are there. So two standing lines are there in first triangle to side BC, and in second triangle it is there to side RQ. So I have repeated the wrong side over here. You should write down side QR, because if I write down BC, B exactly coincides with point Q. So Q will come first and then R will come. So side BC is congruent to side QR. Okay, and finally three standing lines are there to side AC. So side AC is congruent to side PR. So in correspondence, if three sides of triangle ABC are equal to three sides of triangle PQR, then the two triangles are congruent. And this type of test is called as side test, because all the three sides are congruent. And in short, we write down SSS test. So let us write down all the segments which are common. Side AB is congruent to side PQ, side BC is congruent to side QR, and side AC is congruent to side PR. And that's why when all the three, at least three elements of one triangle is congruent to other triangle, we can easily write down triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR by SSS test. Moving in the figure, if you observe, here two right angle triangles are given. So in one triangle, even if it is 90-degree angle is there, right angle triangle, and in second angle also you have right angle triangle, definitely its hypotenuse are also equal. You can see here AC is equal to PR because two standing lines are given, and here one more side is given congruent. You can see here one standing line is given. So AB is congruent to PQ. So definitely when there is hypotenuse, when there is right angle triangle, both the hypotenuse become equal, and there is one more side, extra side, which is congruent. And that's why this is called as hypotenuse side test. Okay, why it is called as hypotenuse side test? Why not right angle side test? Because whenever both the angles, when both the triangles have right angles, definitely their hypotenuse are going to be equal. Automatically they become equal, because opposite to the right hand side, 90-degree triangle, the side which is there, that becomes equal to equal. So here opposite it is side PR, and here opposite to 90-degree angle the side is AC. So both the sides become equal. So one hypotenuse is congruent, and there is one extra side which is given congruent, which is denoted by single line, which is side AB is congruent to side PQ. So that's why it is called as hypotenuse side test. So in triangle ABC and PQR, angle B and angle Q are right angles. Yes, hypotenuse are equal, and AB is equal to PQ, that is the extra side. Then the two triangles are congruent, and this property is called as hypotenuse side test. So let us write down angle B is congruent to angle Q, which is 90-degree. Hypotenuse AC is congruent to hypotenuse PR, and side AB is congruent to side PQ, and therefore both the triangles are congruent. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. So till now here we have learned from first, if you see, we learned about ASA test, SAS test, SSS test, and hypotenuse side test. Okay, all these tests you are going to use to solve practice set. So let us solve practice set. Now one thing you have to keep in your mind is that if any three elements of one triangle are equal to the other three elements of second triangle, all the other elements become automatically equal. So if you see in one triangle, if all the three sides are equal, if it is given, then to equal to the sides of all the three sides of second triangle, they are congruent by SSS test. But the remaining three elements will be what? sides are equal, so the remaining three elements are three angles of the triangle. So the remaining three angles of the triangle will always obviously become congruent to each other. Okay, so that you should. Now let us solve problem set 3.2. So the first question is, in each of the examples given below, a pair of triangles is shown. Equal parts of triangles in each pair are marked with the same signs. Observe the figures and state the test by which the triangles in each pair are congruent. So even if you observe these two figures, you are going to easily find out which test is it. So here you can see side AB has same symbol as side PQ, side BC has same symbol as side QR, and side AC has same symbol as side PR, and all the three sides are given. So that's why these two triangles are congruent by which test? Definitely SSS test, because three sides are given. So side test. So it is congruent by side test. Now let us see the second example. So in these two triangles, if you see, side XY has same symbol as side LM. Then in between you can see angle X Y Z has same symbol as angle LMN, and finally side YZ is same as side MN. So definitely you can see here triangle 1 is congruent to triangle 2 by which test? Side angle side test. So it is short form, it is written as SAS test, side angle side test. Now this first two sub questions I have solved. Next two sub question you have to do it for your homework. They are very easy sums. Now coming to the second question. Of the second question, first sub question I am not going to solve because it is easy. You are going to solve it at home. Second, I will tell you how to solve so that you can solve first question at home. Let us read the question. Observe the information shown in the pairs of triangles given below. State the test by which the two triangles are congruent. Write the remaining congruent parts of the triangle. Okay, so in second example, you can see here both the triangles are given attached at one point. Okay, so from the information shown in the figure, in triangle PTQ, let us trace that triangle PTQ, that means this triangle, and triangle STR, that means this triangle. Segment PT is congruent to segment ST. PT is congruent to ST. That is right, because both are marked by two standing lines, same symbol. Angle PTQ, that means this angle of triangle 1 is congruent to triangle STR, that means this angle of triangle 2. Why they are congruent? Because we already know when there are two segments intersecting at same point, the angles which are vertically opposite to each other, they are always congruent. So these two angles become congruent to each other. And finally, segment TQ is congruent to segment TR. Why? Because both are marked with same symbol, which is one standing line. So therefore, triangle PTQ is congruent to triangle STR by which test? Side angle side test, because this angle T is both vertically opposite angles, they are congruent. So side, two sides are given and in between one angle is given. So by side angle side test, these two triangles are congruent. So first angle is side angle side test, SAS test. So if three of the elements of triangle 1 are equal to three of the elements of triangle 2, automatically the remaining elements become equal, right? So two segments are already given and one angle is given. So when two sides are given, one side is remaining, that we have to put it equal, and if one angle is given, two other angles are remaining, that also we have to make it equal. So let us see, angle TPQ will be congruent to which angle? Angle TPQ will be congruent to which angle of the triangle 2? Let us see, TSR. Okay, so TPQ, So you can see here TP has two lines, so that's why first we'll take TS, and SR is the longest side, and here PQ is also the longest side. So here first we'll write down angle TPQ is congruent to angle TSR. Okay, so T exactly coincides with T. Now coming to the second question. Of the second question, first sub question I'm not going to solve because it is easy. You are going to solve it at home. Second, I will tell you how to solve so that you can solve first question at home. Let us read the question. Observe the information shown in the pairs of triangles given below. State the test by which the two triangles are congruent. Write the remaining congruent parts of the triangle. Okay, so in second example, you can see here both the triangles are given attached at one point. Okay, so from the information shown in the figure, in triangle PTQ, let us trace the triangle PTQ, that means. And students, here you can see angle TPQ is congruent to angle TRS, and segment PQ finally is congruent to segment SR, which is the longest segment of the diagram. Now moving forward to third question. So the third question is, from the information shown in the figure, state the test assuring the congruence of triangle ABC and triangle PQR. Write the remaining congruent parts of the triangle. So first you have to write down which all sides and angles are marked congruent. Okay, same symbols where you find out. So while writing down the solution, always write down in the above figures or in the given triangles ABC and PQR. What can you see? First thing that you notice is there is right angle triangle. So first write down both the angles are congruent. Here also you have right angle, here also you have right angle. So angle BAC is congruent to angle PQR. Why? Both are 90°. Okay, that first you have to write down. Now what can you see next? Hypotenuse. Whenever there is right angle triangle or 90°, hypotenuse becomes always congruent. So hypotenuse BC is congruent to hypotenuse PR. So I have first written here side BA, which I can see one standing line, congruent to side PQ, which it here also it has one single line. So I have first written that side BA is congruent to side PQ, and next I have written hypotenuse BC, which has two standing lines, is congruent to hypotenuse PR. It also has two standing lines. Now if you observe here properly, I have written in 1-to-1 sequence. You can see properly, you can cross check. B exactly coincides with P, A coincides with Q, and C coincides with R. And here also B coincide with P, A coincide with Q. You have to write in sequence. Here also same. Okay, and whenever we have hypotenuse and side congruent, definitely two triangles become congruent by which test? Triangle BAC. So here you can see how I have written the name of the triangles. In this here the triangle ABC was given, so blindly just don't write down triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. That will be wrong. 1-to-1 correspondence you have to write down. So if you write down first B is congruent to exactly P. You can see here. So first point here you have to write down, if you have to write down B, here also you have to write down P. Then if you write down A 1-to-1 correspondence is what? Same point where in second triangle where you find out point Q, because A also has right angle, Q also has right angle, and third point we write down C, so here also you have to write down R. Okay, so both the triangles are congruent by which test? Hypotenuse side test. Always write down the reason, otherwise your marks will get cut. After you find out both the triangles are congruent, you have to write down the remaining uh, elements of both the triangles which are congruent. So this angle where I am pointing, angle B, will be congruent to angle P. Just don't write one letter name, write down the full name. So if I write down angle B's full name is say ABC. So which angle will be there in triangle 2? Same, which is congruent, angle QPR. Why I take angle Q first? Point Q first, because here I have taken point A first, and A has right angle and Q also has right angle, so both those points will come first. Okay, so angle ABC is congruent to angle QPR. Now this angle we have to make it equal. Here now I am pointing, so that angle is ACB. So here what I'll write down, where that angle should be there, this one. Angle C is congruent to angle R. So in full form you can write down, if I take A first, here I have to take Q first. So it will be angle QRP. So two angles we have taken, and one remaining side is this, which was not marked, but they become congruent automatically. So side AC is congruent to side QR. So all these things you have to write down. I have written here first side AC will be congruent to side QR. Angle ACB, that means this angle, is congruent to angle QRP, and finally this angle ABC, is congruent to angle QPR. Okay, so this way we solve the third sum. Let us solve fourth sum. So in fourth sum it is shown, this figure is shown as shown in the following figure. In triangle LMN, that means this triangle, and triangle PNM, that means this triangle, LM is congruent to PN. LM is congruent to PN. You can definitely see here because both have same symbol, single line, and LN is congruent to PM, and definitely they have both same symbol, double line. What do we have to do? Write the test which assures the congruence of the two triangles. So you have to write the test through which these two triangles are congruent, and write the remaining congruent parts. Okay, so we already have two sides equal, which is already shown in the figure. Now which other side you can see which is common in first triangle also and second triangle also? Definitely the common side. They both have common base. You can see here they both are attached to each other, that means they have common base, which is side MN. So if both have same base, that means other side we get congruent to each other because it is common. So these two triangles will be equal by or congruent by which test? Side test. These two sides were congruent, and we get third side also common, and that will also be congruent. Okay, so just write down, in triangle LMN and triangle PNM, side LM is equal to side congruent to side PN, which is already given, and side LN is congruent to side PM, which is also already given in the question. Which is the remaining side which we took congruent? Side MN is congruent to side MN, same side. Why? Because it is a common side for both the triangles. So by which test? Now we have three elements of the triangle which are congruent. So definitely both the triangle will become congruent. Triangle LMN is congruent to triangle PNM. Here also you can check 1-to-1 correspondence. L is coinciding with point P, M with N, and N with M. Okay, so both these triangles are congruent by which test? SSS test. So already we have three sides. Now what other remaining parts we have to write down? So if we have three sides, then remaining parts of the triangle will be three angles. So angle L will be congruent to angle P. So you just write down the full form. So angle L can be written as MLP. N, angle MLN is congruent to what angle name you will write down for second triangle? Definitely NPM. Okay, so MLN is congruent to NPM. So first angle we have written. Now we'll write down this angle. So this angle will be what in first triangle? LNM. LNM is congruent to PMN, right? LMN is congruent to PNM. That is this. I have written here third. And finally this angle. It is LMN is congruent to PNM, which I have written here second. Okay, so remaining three congruent parts also we have written, which was three angles. Now let us solve. In figure 3.24, segment AB is congruent to segment CB. You can see here AB is congruent to CB. Here a little blurry you can see, but both the sides are shown with two standing lines. So both are congruent. Segment AD is congruent to segment CD. Even these two segments are shown with same symbol, which is one standing line. What do we have to prove? We have to prove that both these triangles are equal, congruent. So let us write down the proof. So whenever in question it is given, you have to prove something, you have to write down three different parts. One is given, to prove, and proof. So first I will write down given. So what all things are given? Segment AB is congruent to CB, that is given, and segment AD congruent to CD, that is given. Now write down to prove. To prove you have to pick it from the question only. Triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CBD, that we have to prove. These two part also you write down, you will get half mark or 1 mark, it is given also. Now third part you have to write down proof. So in proof, first statement you write down in triangle ABD and triangle CBD. Write down what all things are given. Segment AB is congruent to segment CB and segment AD is congruent to segment CD. These two things are given, so write down in bracket given. Now which side is common for both the triangle? Side BD. So write down that segment BD is congruent to segment BD itself because it is a common side. So by which test? We have three elements congruent. So definitely these two triangles are going to become congruent. By which test? SSS test. So write down triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CBD by SSS test. That means side test. Because three sides are congruent. Now in sixth sum is also very easy. In figure 3.25, angle P is congruent to angle R. That means this angle, it is given in the form of one letter angle name, but you can write down full name also. Segment PQ is congruent to segment RQ. These two segments are congruent, and you have to prove that triangle PQT, that means this triangle is congruent to triangle RQS. Okay, so let us see how can we prove that. First write down given and to prove. So in given you have to write down first two things. Angle P is congruent to angle R and segment PQ is congruent to segment RQ. Write down to prove. In to prove, triangle PQT is congruent to triangle RQS. And write down proof. In triangle PQT and triangle RQS, write down what all things are given. Angle B is congruent to angle R. Angle segment PQ is congruent to segment RQ. And one more angle you can see here. You can't see same side common, but one angle which is there, that is common for both the triangles. That is angle Q. You can see here this corner which is there. It is common for this triangle also, first triangle also, and it is common for second triangle also. So you can write down these two things, you have to write down in bracket which is given. Now write down full form of angle Q. Okay, first in first triangle what will be the name of angle Q? PQT. So here I have made a mistake. Angle PQT, I'll have to repair the mistake. So angle PQT will come here because that is there in triangle PQT. Okay, you cannot write down R because this is not the whole triangle. Okay, so angle PQT is congruent to angle RQT. RQS you write down over here. You cannot take P point because the triangle is RQS only. Till here only the triangle is there. So here just make correction. Angle PQT, angle PQT means this angle is congruent to angle RQS. That means again this angle. Why? Because that angle is common. It is common angle. So we have two angles, that means these two angles, and in between that there is one side which is common. So between two angles, when there is one side which is sandwiched, which is congruent, which test that is? It is angle side angle test. So both these triangles are going to become congruent. Triangle PQT is congruent to triangle RQS by which test? ASA test. That means angle side angle test. So you can see here this exercise was really simple because you all have already studied in standard 8 also about all the tests. You are going to find it more easier. Okay, so solve this all sums in your notebook.